Hello and good evening, Blue Jays fans, and welcome to Jays Latest, presented by Kalshi. I am your host, Craig Borden, and yes, we get to finally celebrate a victory. And what a victory it was. The Blue Jays coming back and winning in epic fashion in the 10th inning tonight. And it was abysmal feeling the entirety of this game to all of a sudden just finally get something moving in the right direction. Finally be able to pop a victory beer and enjoy the fun it is of what this is what winning feels like actually. So the Blue Jays, like I said, were down in extra going in extra innings. Things move in the right direction. Finally, get a walk off that we're going to talk about here in just a minute. But we got to start with the main story before the walk off, and that is 100% the gentleman named Mr. Dylan Cease. And wow, did he have a wonderful performance in this one? 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and then getting 9 strikeouts. So just racking it up at a crazy cliff. His last inning was when he finally gave up a run in this one tonight, and that would have been 14 straight innings if he got out of that inning in which he is not allowed to run, and just been epic and awesome. And we cannot be thankful enough for having Mr. Dylan Cease in the starting rotation and for the future here as well. Strikeout artist extraordinaire, 9 strikeouts, baffled the Tampa Bay Rays for the majority of this. It took till the 7th inning for them finally to scrape together a run. And it was not in the most glorious of fashions, but it did get the Rays on the board. And at the time, put the Blue Jays behind. So as they move through that, the Blue Jays finally get back into this one, as mentioned. And the scoring was Richie Palacios had a single that drove in a run. But Blue Jays got the bases loaded, and they left a lot of runners in scoring position on a lot of walks by the Tampa Bay Rays tonight. Kazuma Akamoto gets a sac fly, drives in George Springer, gets us back to 1-1, and it would stay that way until the top of the 10th, in which Jeff Hoffman had one of his moments and lived up to my friend Liz McGuire's wonderful new verb of the base beaver that he is. I guess I got to explain what a base beaver is if you haven't listened to the show. When a beaver hears water, they want to dam up the water. It's that simple. If Jeff Hoffman sees open bases, he wants to fill those bases. Hence, base beaver. So gives up 2 runs, one of them earned in the top of the 10th, puts the Blue Jays behind 3-1, and just it felt like the air was out of the tires. What are we going to do, even though we had the meat of the lineup coming up the following inning? So George Springer starts the inning on second as the ghost runner, walks to Vlad Jr., and Kazuma Akamoto brings up Dalton Varsho. Stage is set, gets in a crummy count, and he just flicks the bat at the ball, pops this thing to the opposite field. Yariel Rodriguez standing in the bullpen, catches the ball, walk off, grand slammy time, Apo Taco, add more verbs, superlatives, whatever it might be, right here and there. The Blue Jays walking off in grand fashion. And wow, did we need this. It felt like the biggest of victories for the longest of time. They have not been able to win on the road, at home, anything of late, and the Tampa Bay Rays have been at the center of those losses for 5 of 6 of those losses now against the Rays. But it finally just felt like something broke in our favor. Dalton Varsho, if this is the thing that gets him going, that is only going to be that much more glorious too. But Blue Jays win, walk it off, epic and grand fashion. There you go. So we'll talk about that more in just a moment, but we got to talk about our lovely sponsors at Kalshi. Baseball season is here, and now you can trade on every single game on Kalshi. If you have not seen Kalshi, let me help you out here. This is like a stock market style thing. And the nice thing is, I'm going to go right to the, because the Blue Jays have an off day tomorrow. So we're going to go to the market here on the Pittsburgh Pirates versus the Colorado Rockies. Why wouldn't you just go if you were going to drop $1 on something or whatever it might be? Why wouldn't you go looking for who is playing one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball? And the Rockies have had their moments, including against us. Just saying that fact. Things happen. They have a young, good, hungry team. Never know. But at the end of the day, if you were going to throw something on here, if I put $1 on here by betting yes with this, and getting this moving. If the Pittsburgh Pirates win with these ratings and everything right now, that dollar would turn into $1.56, and like I said, more or less a stock trade. The one that I was looking at, let me go to strikeouts, but it's not going to show strikeouts this early because it's evening. And but I was looking at the Colorado Rockies game, like I mentioned. But as far as the other one that I was looking at, let me just go to MLB.com. I was looking at what Chris Sale might be doing. If I was going to be on Kalshi tomorrow when it opens up for the player bets, because they don't do them the night before, Chris Sale has been incredible in his last few outings and striking out people at a crazy clip. So I would look to him to maybe throw $1 on strikeouts, and I'm thinking 7 or 8. And my math to that fact is the fact that the Chicago Cubs are in the middle of the range in teams that strike out per 9 the most. They're right in the middle. They're not horrible. They're not bad. They're not good. They're whatever. They're just average. But they strike out about 8 times per 9 innings, is what they're basically saying. And then you have Chris Sale, who has a strikeout rate right now of 10 Ks per 9. So I'm sitting here going, okay, 7 or 8 strikeouts might be a nice little way to make an extra 50 cents on a dollar bet. Never know. That's what Kalshi is, and that's how it works. So, but as far as the rest of it goes, on Kalshi, you can trade on every single game. You're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there is no house. And as probabilities change, you can buy in and out of your position for a limited time only. Download the Kalshi app, and you can use this wonderful code right here and over to my other direction that says FanArc Baseball. If you use the promo code FanArc Baseball when you sign up, you get $10 when you trade $10. And that's KALSHI, Kalshi, trade on anything. So, did we finally exercise the demons? Did the Blue Jays finally find a catalyst? Was this the spark we needed? Or was it because we had rock star Shane Told on our other show, the Jaybird Watching podcast, tonight? And last year when we had him on, that's when the Blue Jays finally went on a run. See why I invited him back on the show. Love you, Shane. So, on that note, the Blue Jays could use this as a big stepping stone. Is this the catalyst they needed? Is this who or what provides the spark? The pitching with Dylan Cease has been incredible, so that next thing is needed to be able to get them over the hurdle here. I really thought it was going to be the return of Addison Barger, but that literally happened and went already. So the next piece to this whole thing is maybe there's a trade out there that the Blue Jays need to look and hope for. And I think they have the minor league and prospect capital to turn around and maybe add a Robbie Ray, find a bat, whatever it might be, like we were talking about yesterday. And that's where the team could and maybe should go, because this is still a World Series level championship team. There is something missing. What it is, that is the big question right now. And I think it's more or less the one piece they're missing, the who, not so much the what they're missing, and really tip this thing over. It could have been like, if you had a bat of like somebody like Anthony Santander, maybe this offense just picks up and sparks. But right now, without that Barger pump or whatever it might be to get them over this, the offense has just been so sluggish. And then the fact that you now lost what it sounds like Jose Barrios. There is nothing official yet, but it doesn't sound good when I hear the word surgeon in the visit. We'll be hopefully proven wrong on that one, but he has been looking rough in his last couple of starts at the minor league level, only averaging 91 miles an hour and not getting minor league players out. So what's the next problem? Okay, maybe we're going to dip into the minors. Maybe we're going to find that guy. Maybe we'll find another young, Hendrik Peñago, who has been just incredibly good for the Blue Jays and moving things in the right direction. Peñago with a, key walk and a key hit at that one point where the Blue Jays were potentially threatening, but going 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position, meaning the Dalton Varsho walk-off, was not quite getting it done against Griffin Jax and the pitching staff of the Tampa Bay Rays today. Like I said, the Blue Jays having that many runners left in scoring position is just still a major, major problem that they got to find a turnaround a way to do that. But once again, in the midst of this was Griffin Jacks putting the ball in play. Only had 3 strikeouts as a team tonight. Yeah, like I said, there's some good things and there's some bad things, but there is enough to show that this team is a better team than what we're performing at. So just a matter of time, Blue Jays fans, and what provides the spark. The catch is, hopefully the spark at least happens over on the road, because the Blue Jays are now going to play 7 days in a row, and even I think they are 2 weeks in a row total. But the 7 weeks or 7 days of those is on the road. They're going to go hit the road to Detroit, and then after the Detroit series over the weekend here, tomorrow on Thursday is the only off day they have. They go straight to the Bronx. And their one nice thing is, unfortunately, we will not see Tarek Skubal. The um, Tigers and everything have been just as bad as sluggish as we have been. It looks like they might be in that ballpark too of us, the exact same record at 19-24. They don't know who's going to be pitching against Trey Savage on Friday. Blue Jays are also saying that they're going to be having a bullpen game on Saturday. And then I believe it was back to potentially Kevin Gossman on Sunday. Yes, Kevin Gossman is tentatively slated right now for Sunday. And then, like I said, start next week, Monday, in the Bronx, and go from there. So, Blue Jays fans, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of things this way, that way, and everything. Don't despair. I really do think that this road trip against Detroit actually could be the difference in the world. You never know. There's going to be enough people there. Hopefully, that'll make it sound like a home game, because, like I said, the Tigers are not off to the greatest starts either. So we'll fight for sheer, utter, lower standing dominance starting on Friday. So thank you very much, everybody. We always greatly appreciate you here at Jay's Latest and at Fan Arc Baseball. Make sure you hit those subscribe buttons. Get over to wherever you're getting your podcasting pleasures for. Please drop us a review. It gets more access to our stuff and gets everybody more aware of the wonderful fun that we're having here. Hit me up in the comments section, and we'll talk to you all soon. Hope you have a great day, and as always, let's go Blue Jays. Cheers.